Hello everybody and welcome to the face reading of the people in the news. For those of you who are with me today for the first time, if you get interested in the subject of face reading, you can watch my YouTube face reading introduction. You can also buy my book, Face Reading Secrets for Successful Relationships. It is available on Amazon.com. Also, I would like to announce to those who have been following all my work, not only the face reading, within a month, maybe even sooner, I will come out with a program, 6 Pillars of Well-Being. It is a complete training manual for physical, mental, and emotional health. I am now working on the last out of 12 videos. Today I will be talking about Nikola Tesla, who was probably one of the most interesting, strange, and tragic figures in the scientific community of the end of 19th, the beginning and middle of 20th century. Nikola Tesla was an inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, a futurist, who is best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating current AC electricity supply system. But Tesla had over 300 patents in 26 countries. Some of Tesla's patents are not accounted for, and many inventions developed by Tesla were not put into patent protection. He was a scientist and inventor, the magnitude of Thomas Edison. In fact, he worked for Edison for some time. But unlike Tesla, Edison lived a healthy, successful, and prosperous life, while Tesla lived quite a strange, lonely, and relatively unsuccessful life, and died alone in a hotel room with no relatives or friends. We as face readers will attempt to understand, was there anything in Tesla's morphology that would explain why a man who was a genius on the level of Edison and Einstein never succeeded with so many of his brilliant ideas? Why so many people failed him, and why he, in so many ways, failed himself? First, let's look at Tesla's profile/temperament, which is clearly a sanguine. But sanguine has very different characteristics that I know Tesla had. People with sanguine temperament are usually gregarious, generous, courageous, spontaneous, optimistic, masterful in charming and connecting with people. The sanguine usually need a good 7-8 hours of sleep at night and would benefit from a short nap during the day. And I read quite a lot about Tesla's life, and he exhibited none of those characteristics. This man slept 2-3 hours per night the most. He lived as a loner in a hotel room, rarely spoke to anyone unless it was absolutely necessary, and had his meals delivered at his request always by the same waiter. Let's see, perhaps his face/personality will help us to understand this man better. Unfortunately, I could not find a photo of young Tesla where he looked straight into the camera, so I will have to use the photo of his face where he is at quite an advanced age. I don't think it presents a problem though, because it seems that his face was remarkably unchanged throughout his whole life. Here he is. It would be that his face is pretty much a Uranus, if not for a very narrow lower part of the face compared to the upper part. Yet there is definitely Uranus there. But the upper part of the face stands out enough to consider this part as a separate shape, and that is, of course, Earth. Yes, the upper part of Tesla's face is Earth. So Earth over Uranus. Remember, Uranus is just as a Saturn with few extra characteristics. So as a Uranus, Tesla was extremely time conscious, very reliable, orderly. He had more perseverance in what he did than any personality. He was always organized and meticulous. Most people with Uranus face are deep philosophical thinkers. They are far advanced in their thinking and often are visionaries ahead of their time, which is so true for Tesla. The Saturn and Uranus are the most sexual of all personality types, which is strange because Tesla was never married and lived a very secluded and lonely life. Tesla, as the Uranus usually are, was quite eccentric. But now let's see what the Earth part adds to who he was. Very practical and physical, truly down to earth, concrete, with concrete practical goals. To pursue their interests, Uranus usually use their innate practical intelligence. They need and want physical and emotional intimacy. They're family oriented and want to have children. Again, all those qualities above was something that Tesla did not have, or that he needs, did not have or didn't know how to get. So according to his personality, really Tesla had a lot of needs which were not fulfilled. Let's see now if we understand his features, and they will help us out. Does any feature stand out on his face to you? Take your time. To me, all of his features, frankly, stand out. First, the upper part of his face is way too large compared to the lower part. Remember, the upper part is intellect and emotion, and the lower part is physicality. And look at his deep-set eyes, which tell us that he is a natural introvert, not much connection with the outside world. Paired with virtually no upper lip, meaning that a person is not communicating, not sharing with others. Add his large ears, far from the skull, meaning that he was fiercely independent, and something that we cannot see looking at his face, but we can see looking at the profile. The space between tragus and antertragus is very small, meaning that he was not interested in talking, did not have a need to talk. And finally, let's look at yet another interesting feature that was not there. Look at his thin lips. The mouth is tightly closed and ends just where the lips close. In the previous video that I posted just before this one, I spoke about the 16 richest people in the world, and we found that 15 out of 16 had one feature in common, and that was this line. After the lips are closed, this feature is called executive power, the ability to make things happen. And Tesla had none of it. Just as a contrast, Thomas Edison did, Stephen Hawking had it, Albert Einstein had it. I'm showing the photo of young Einstein because all his adult life he wore mustache and we would not see his lips. So we have a man here of great intelligence, outstanding talent, organized, meticulous, able to commit and stay on course for as long as necessary, deep thinker, far ahead of his time, with a lot of practical intelligence and will to overcome challenges, with a natural need for family, intimacy, and connectedness. Yet, he was an introvert, unable to articulate, to express what he wanted, unable to bring that which was inside into the outside, independent in thinking, but needy of people with whom he was unable to connect, having great ideas, but as great difficulty to execute them successfully. The only thing I see changed in his life was the space between tragus and antitragus. You see, it became smaller. So at older age, Tesla became more talkative, but by then, I don't know if it helped him. Well, I don't want to end on a sad note. Let's see if we can turn it around and make it as a positive lesson. Having a great talent and a strong will and an independent way of thinking and the ability to stay on course to achieve one's goals apparently is not enough. One must have or acquire the skill of connecting with people and the ability to share his or her thoughts in a way that they would welcome supporters, that they would be appreciated in the way that others would want to help and advance one's course instead of resisting it. And that is all for Nikola Tesla. Thank you for being with me today. Peace to all who want to live in peace.